You showed me my shortcomings thinking that it would keep me down, but it's the thing that keeps me off the ground. Impactful lessons come from seeing the sides we tried to hide. I thought that my kindness was strength until I realized that it could be used against me. And so the strength that filled my identity and sense of self wasn't really good. It was a guise I used in hopes that other people wouldn't feel the need to use me or call on their morality. How dare you mistreat me? How dare you do this thing to me when all I've been was nice to you? My kindness was a shield that guided my weakness and my inability to see and deal with what was real. You have to have the strength within you to be harsh, to speak up for yourself, to say no and walk away. That is kindness without weakness. That is strength when it's real. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Abby, and I'm back with another video. How are you guys? How is the start of your summer doing? Honestly, it doesn't even feel like summer where I'm at. Like, for those of you that don't know, I'm from the East Coast. I'm actually from Canada, Toronto to be exact. And summer here has been confused, to say the least. Like, one day it's gloomy, one day it's sunny, and then the next day it's cold. So I'm trying to enjoy all the ups and downs of this weather, but you know, it is what it is. I guess that's kind of what comes with weather, is you never know what you're gonna get, and with seasons and all of that. But I just want to get straight into today's video because I was writing and I was thinking, and I thought, I gotta share this with my people. I gotta share this with my YouTube, because I feel like my Instagram and TikTok is a great place to share short snippets and clips and writing pieces of what I've been kind of thinking on, but YouTube is where we can explore on a deeper level. And so I wanted to talk today about kindness and taking kindness for weakness, and what it actually means to be kind and not naive, and how your kindness can be a strength and how it cannot be taken advantage of. Because if I'm being honest, for most of my life, I have been told that I am so kind and that I'm so sweet. It's like the number one thing that people tell me.
Oh my God, Abby, you are so kind. Oh my God, Abby, you are so nice.
And when I was younger, I used to kind of like that. Like, I really did think that being kind was a compliment until I got older and people started taking advantage of it. People started taking advantage of my kindness, and I was like, don't say that I'm kind. Don't tell me that I'm kind if you're just going to take advantage of it and use it as a weakness. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me this compliment. I'm not kind. And I would try and be mean. I would try and put up this front of kindness when it really wasn't who I was. And the more I thought about it and the more I understood it, kindness is weakness when it isn't backed up with strength. Sounds super obvious. Sounds like, duh, no S-H-I-T. If it's not strength, then obviously it's weakness. But it's deeper than that. A lot of times we use our kindness as a sense of self and identity. We get our worth from kindness, and we think it's kindness that's protecting us, but really it is a weakness. It's our inability to be strong, to speak our mind, to say how we feel, to offend people for the sake of ourselves and our well-being. It's our inability to hold that sort of shadow or that sort of negative side. We put these labels on it, this negative side of who we are. It isn't actually negative, but it's the inability to hold that quote unquote negative side of ourselves and integrate it with the positive, right? Now, when I'm using the word negative and positive, I don't think that speaking up for yourself is negative. I don't think that being harsh in the way that you speak sometimes to get your message across, I don't think that's actually negative. But in the back of my mind, if I'm being honest, the subconscious of my mind, those things were always negative to me. Oh, it's going to hurt their feeling. Oh, it's going to make them feel uncomfortable. I know what it feels like to be uncomfortable. I would never want to put someone through that. Oh, they're going to feel shy. Oh, they're going to feel insecure. I can't say how I actually feel. I can't stand up for myself. It's going to offend them. Right? And so our inability to speak our minds, our inability to speak up for ourselves, our inability to love ourselves and defend ourselves shows up as kindness, right? But really, what does it do to us? Really, what does that do to us is it breaks us down. It breaks us down little by little by little. If anyone can relate to this, if anyone watching this video can relate, right? Like, when your kindness is taken for weakness, it breaks you down little by little. It even causes you to kind of be afraid and not really trust yourself. Like, can I trust myself? Am I being taken advantage of? Can I trust other people? Can I trust my own decision making? We get in this state of confusion. And so I think there's a beautiful balance that needs to be held between strength and weakness. You have to have the ability to be harsh and rude, right? And all these things that we think of negative. We have to have the ability to do that, right? Because with the ability to do that, we can say and speak up for ourselves when we are in positions that it is needed. It doesn't mean when the context is appropriate. It doesn't mean to stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself when someone is taking advantage of you. In the context of that setting of someone taking advantage of you or trying to harm you, right? It doesn't mean to stand up for yourself. It doesn't mean to be mean. It's actually loving yourself to do that in that situation, right? It is loving yourself to speak up for yourself when you are being taken advantage of. And so you see how the context matters. But without the ability to integrate that shadow or to integrate that negative side of yourself, if you don't have that ability to do that, then your kindness is taken for weakness. Then your kindness actually is weakness. And so taking a moment to sit with yourself and understand, where does the root of my kindness come from? Is it a way to self-protect myself? To self-protect myself, you know what I mean? Is this a way to protect myself? Is this a way of me putting up a shield of morality, right? A shield of morality that if I'm kind to you, you'll be kind to me, right? Right? In an ideal world, if I'm kind to you, you'll reciprocate it, right? But that's not reality. The reality is you will be kind to some people and some people will take advantage of you. You need to know how to be harsh in those situations. You need to know how to deal with those situations. You need to know how to defend yourself and be quote unquote mean in those situations, right? It's almost like waking up to the realities of life. I think sometimes when we wear this nice girl aesthetic or this nice girl, we have this sense of identity, right? Like kindness as a sense of our identity. We don't integrate the negative reality of the world. And that the negative reality is that there is evil people, is that there are people that will take advantage of you and that will gladly, misuse you and mistreat you. They will gladly do it. They don't have that sense of, let me be nice. They don't have that. They don't have that. In actuality, what I realized for myself is that desire to be kind was actually my way of calling on other people's morality. If I'm kind to you, be kind to me. I don't have control over that. What the heck am I doing? What the heck am I doing trying to be kind to other people, trying to convince them to be kind to me? It doesn't work that way. Hello, wake up and smell the roses. It does not work that way. It does not work that way. And that is not how you get people to be kind to you. You don't. You do not get people to be kind to you. You do not get people to do anything. Okay? You cannot control people. What people choose to do is what they choose to do. You understand? What you choose to do is what you choose to do, but you need to have the ability to navigate through all situations. The strength that filled my identity and sense of self was a guise I used in hopes that other people wouldn't feel the need to use me. Life does not work that way. We cannot control how other people choose to treat us. You need to have the strength within you. You need to have the ability within you to be harsh and be mean, because trust me when I say this, you will be in situations where people are not the nicest, not the kindest. You need to know how to operate. You need to understand that in those situations, they're not going to have mercy on you. And this is not like to, make the world seem dark and harsh and whatever, but it's just understanding like this nice girl guise that you put on, this niceness that you put on, it's not really real. What it is weakness. And I know that's like, whoa, no, it's not. No, it's not weakness. Yes, it is. Because the absence, what isn't weakness, the opposite of weakness is strength. And so if you are not weak, you are strong, right? And to be strong doesn't mean that you got to be strong every day and that you need to assert your strength on everyone you come across, but it's the ability to be strong. It's having the capacity to be strong and now deciding which situations need that strength or not, right? We got to have that tool in our back pocket. We got to be able to pull out our sword when necessary. We need to be able to fight when necessary. It doesn't mean that we have to walk around the street kicking and boxing everybody that comes our way. That is also not integrated properly. That's also some sort of imbalance, like you went over. You know what I mean? You got to find the balance. Have the strength. Use it when necessary. It comes with a sort of wisdom. You know what I mean? You showed me my shortcomings thinking it was the thing that would keep me down, but now it's the thing that keeps me off the ground. It took me a very long time to realize that my kindness was a guise, that it was a way of protecting myself. It wasn't until I don't want to say taken advantage of, but it wasn't until I was met with other people in my life, relationships, friends, that I realized did not have my best interests at heart and did not have that sort of mercy or that feeling that where you feel bad for people. And so they didn't have this kindness that I had. Okay. They didn't have kindness that I have, this weakness that I had, you know. They were able to say the harsh reality. They were able to walk away from situations when it wasn't good for them anymore. They were able to let go, where I find I was a bit more codependent in my relationships and even in my friendships, where I'll put up with a lot. As long as you're here, I'll put up with a lot. They didn't have that. And so I realized that I also need to have that same strength. I also need to have that same harshness, right? And it isn't anyone else's responsibility to treat me in that way. It's actually my responsibility to make sure I don't get in situations that are genuinely harmful. And when I'm in situations, I have the ability to defend myself and to fight for myself. This is a bit controversial, I think, and I think some people maybe would be offended by what I'm saying, which I hope anyone that's watching this is not offended. But I know for a long time, if someone told me that, I would be offended. And I would be like, excuse me, it's not weakness, it's meekness, okay? It's not weakness, but it's meekness. It's not meekness unless you actually have the strength to walk away. It's not meekness unless you actually have the strength to speak up for yourself and defend yourself, right? I would say that I'm meek without having the actual ability to do that. It was like bringing on this false sense of strength. Like, I'm meek. I could do it if I wanted to, but I'm just choosing not to. I could say what was on my mind and I could tell you to get out of here and beat it, but I'm not going to because I'm kind. But I can. Just don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. That's kind of what I was doing, is I was kind of hiding under that guise of meekness, right? But real strength is saying, I have the strength to walk away. I have the strength to speak up for myself. I'm just seeing if it's necessary in this situation, right? And when it is necessary, pulling it out and being strong and saying, no, you can't treat me that way. No, I'm not putting up with this. Goodbye, right? That is what real strength is. That is kindness without weakness. That is kindness in real form. Now, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I think that's pretty much like the gist of it. It's like, I hope anybody that's watching this and also has this dilemma of being too nice and too kind, I hope you know that, like, you being quote unquote mean actually isn't mean. It's like normal. It's genuinely normal. And the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you're going to start to realize that it's completely normal and that people are able to handle the truth. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to start standing up for yourself and you're going to start speaking up for yourself, and you're going to realize that people aren't necessarily going to get upset or offended by it, right? There are a lot of people with emotional maturity and that can understand when you are speaking up for yourself when it's needed. Like, they're not going to be offended by that. And if they are offended by that, well, maybe that's not the type of person that you need to be around. Maybe that's the type of person that got you to be small in the first place, right? Emotional immaturity, inability to see, right? That you're standing up for yourself and that you're speaking for yourself. When someone wants to take advantage of you, they make you small, okay? But when you're around people that are emotionally mature, that or just mature in general, you speaking up for yourself is not going to be a problem. You speaking up for yourself is going to be a great thing. It's going to be something that people admire about you. And so this is your encouragement to start using and exercising that muscle. Start speaking up for yourself. Start being brave. Start saying what's on your mind. Start doing what you have to do to be authentic to you. I didn't even know that was gonna rhyme, but like, that's how you know it was just flowing. Like, it rhymed, and I feel like if it rhymes, then it's true. You know what I mean? Because how did the words come together like that? Anyway, sidetrack. That is all I have to say today. I think that's the end of the video. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you enjoy this week. I will see you guys next week. I'm going to try and be super, super consistent on this channel and like post all the time, because I need to get back on my schedule. You know what I mean? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you got to do. Comment your thoughts if you could relate, or if you have something that you want to add to this. Also, I got to put this in here. I have a weekly newsletter. I am going to put the link where you can subscribe to this newsletter. I'm not going to bombard you with emails. I'm not going to bombard you with BS. It's going to be a weekly newsletter talking about topics similar to this video. Attachment styles, standing up for yourself, what is real strength, ways to journal, ways to get into reflective practices, just little tips and tricks and things that you can read up on rather than scrolling through social media and intaking all this kind of like garbage. Like, I hope that my newsletter is a bit more substantial and nutritious in the information that I give. Y'all let me know if it is. Maybe it's just as garbage as the other garbage on the internet. I don't know. Anyways, that is my hope, okay? Sign up for the newsletter. I think that's pretty much it. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. You already know what it is, ABIGXRL. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love, and bye for now.